I don't want to hear anybody in this audience saying that nothing's happened.
Keep in mind what Mike Lindell did. Mike Lindell has been saying for months that he has the PCAPs, right? With disguised under the premise of showing the PCAPs to the public, Mike Lindell was able to gather all attention on the Cyb3r Symposium, but not just the attention of us. Not just my attention, not just yours, not just the attention of the government officials from all 50 states that were there. He gathered everybody's attention on that symposium. Everyone's. He was attacked in a hotel. The entire event was cyber attacked the entire time. He 100% pumped up this event, saying that he has the PCAPs because he wanted to freak out the other side. He wanted them to think that he had the PCAPs. So what did he do? He set them up. He set up the other side to hack into his Cyb3r Symposium and to try to get that data. And what did that do? The red team that was actually there at the symposium was not there to prove the authenticity of the PCAPs. That's not why they were there. The entire red team, led by Colonel Phil Waldron, former military cybersecurity expert, for 20-some years he was there, they were in place to intercept the hacking attempts by the deep state into the Cyb3r Symposium. The red team caught them red-handed at the symposium. They know exactly who hacked in. Now they could work backwards from where they came from and follow the money to the linked hackers. The Cyb3r Symposium was for one reason and one reason only. It was a sting operation. It was a sting operation to completely set up the other side to think that we had these PCAPs. And if we do have the PCAPs and they're working on the PCAPs digitally, we assume that the deep state is going to send in hackers to try to get inside those PCAPs. And guess what? They did. But in doing so, they completely exposed themselves, who they are. You saw Monkey Works. He said they had a couple planes up in the sky. Well, who put the planes there? It was a setup. We never had the PCAPs. Lindell never had the PCAPs. What the hell do you need PCAPs for if you had a skiff on election night and then you went to get the servers in Frankfurt, Germany, and you brought the servers back, you gave them to Ezra, and you said, Ezra, we're going to do something with these, but hold on. Let's see what happens on the 6th. Let's give them one more chance. Trump is all about, guys, give them one more chance. Let's give them one more chance. Maybe they'll do the right thing. This is the United States of America. Every single time that he's given them that chance, they've not done it. They've never taken it. Now they're screwed. Mike Lindell can't be this dumb, right? I mean, nobody could. Nobody could be dumb enough to give a $5 million reward, collect all of these cyber experts, tell them that you have a certain piece of information that you want them to look at, and then not give that information. No one's that dumb. No one could be that dumb. There's only one place that those election results could have come from. One place and one place only. The only man that had access to that information. The only man, other than Donald Trump and other than Michael Pence, that could have possibly had classified data from the election night was Ezra Cohen Watnick. This now makes perfect sense as to why Ezra, Chris Miller, and Kash Patel were appointed 2 days after the Frankfurt, Germany raid. The Frankfurt, Germany raid was November 8th, 5 days after the election. It was on a Friday into Saturday night. This was the firefight with Gina Haspel, head of the CIA. This was the CIA defending the Frankfurt, Germany servers. The United States intelligence, the military intelligence department of the United States, located the servers. They went to get them. They got them. The data was passed off. It was classified immediately. When you declassify data, you also indicate who gets it. You know who Ezra gave the election results to on January 9th? Mike Lindell. He does have the actual numbers. The numbers that he put on the screen during the symposium, these numbers, they are accurate. The packet captures were released by Ezra. They were released to Mike Lindell at the direction of Donald Trump while he was still in office. Donald Trump was still in office on January 9th. This was after the insurrection, the fake insurrection. Trump knew what they were doing. This was after the failed assassination attempt. Trump instructed Ezra with most likely deep conversations with his trusted intel network, both in the military and beyond. And he was told to give the SCIF data. They watched. They sat there and watched. This all makes sense now. All of it. They sat there on election night and watched them steal the election. Trump knew they were going to do it. He set them up. He knew exactly what they were going to do, and he completely cornered them. And you think this symposium was for no reason? If you've never read The Art of the Deal, you need to read The Art of the Deal. This is straight out of The Art of the Deal. So now Trump knows who's loyal and who's not. He knows what side they're on, right? That's why Lindell says he was given the data on the 9th, because he was given the data on the 9th, because Trump gave them a chance on the 6th to do the right thing. We have that data. We have all of it. On the 9th, Trump said, tried to kill me again. All these people turned on me. Ezra released the data. And then they got a plan together, which was going to take several months into 2021 before Trump could get back into office. After seeing the exact accurate voting totals at the Cyb3r Symposium, Dominion now knows with 100% certainty that we do have the true data from the 2020 election. The symposium was created for several reasons. Number one, the Cyb3r Symposium gathered officials from all 50 states, and it showed them the true extent of the election fraud. The true extent. Now, these officials that were at the symposium, they also watch the mainstream media. They are interviewed on a daily basis by the mainstream media. They're not on Telegram. They are not like us. They don't listen to me. The symposium that we saw, we knew all of that. We've been talking about that for months. So it seems like it was one big, giant disappointment, right? We were told we were going to see PCAPs. We were told it's going to go to the Supreme Court 9-0. We were told it wasn't for us. It was for all 50 states had representatives at that Cyb3r Symposium. And for the first time since the election fraud occurred in November, they saw the hard evidence of what we've been seeing for months. For months, we know of the voting flips. We know that the graphs were going like this and then Biden's went like that. We saw all of that when we've been seeing it from myself and from all these other people that are on YouTube and DLive and all these other places. We've been talking about it for us. Me and you, me and all of you, we are pros at this. We are absolute pros. But those government officials that were at the symposium, for many of them, it was the first time seeing it. Many of them got up there on that stage and they said, we're going back to our state and we're going to fight. And we know how to do it because they got instruction on what they have to do from all the attorneys that were at the symposium, from Lindell's red team, they all collaborated with each other. Wendy Rogers went out just recently, I read this today, went out and made a committee on election integrity, and she has members of all 50 states in the committee. They are making noise. They're going to go back to their states, and they finally have a plan as to what to do to fix this. Goal number 2 was to show Dominion that we really do have all of the accurate vote totals. No one else has that data. Nobody. Except Trump. We intercepted it at the SCIF. We saw where the data was going to Frankfurt, Germany. We went, we got it, and we have it. Ezra Cohen Watnick worked at the NSA under General Flynn, and Ezra Cohen Watnick and Ezra Cohen Watnick alone had the ability to declassify whatever the hell he wanted. Now, the day that Ezra Cohen was appointed to this position, he said some pretty interesting words. Let's listen very closely to what he said.
Today, the Department of Defense has started the process of formalizing what we have long known, the fundamental role of U.S. Special Operations in defense and foreign policy by elevating Special Operations forces to a level on par with military departments as authorized and directed by Congress. As we enact these reforms, we follow the vision of President John F. Kennedy, who predicted the rise of special operations nearly 60 years ago. He foresaw, quote, another type of war, new in its intensity, ancient in its origin, that would require a whole new kind of strategy, a wholly different kind of force, forces which are too unconventional to be called conventional forces, which are growing in number and importance and significance. President Kennedy gave these remarks at the opening of the nuclear age. The global demands for special operations forces then and now has confirmed President Kennedy's foresight. And now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of special operations forces.
In other words, JFK thought we were going to have some sort of different warfare in the future. He thought it was going to be ancient in intensity, meaning that it's going to be just as serious as all the ancient wars from history. Just as serious, but new in the scope. JFK thought this. And he wanted to put procedures in place and defense mechanisms in place to counteract that type of warfare. Then he was killed. But now, according to Ezra, now that Trump is in office, and now that Ezra is in the position that he's in, you could see Chris Miller right there in the front row. Chris Miller actually went up and spoke as well during this same press conference. The people that are in power now, Trump and everybody else, is they are able to set up John F. Kennedy's wishes. But again, keep in mind that these people that are now taking over these positions are doing so for an outgoing president. Okay? Trump just put them there. This video is from November 11th, a day after these guys took over. Right? Very weird that they're talking about JFK and talking about doing all of these things, even though they're not going to be in the position that long, right? Okay. Now let's move forward. That symposium was not what I thought it was going to be. It's not what you thought it was going to be. It's not what anyone in the world thought it was going to be, except the master manipulator himself, Donald Trump. This is literally a page out of The Art of the Deal. Literally. This is exactly what he teaches in that book. This has always been his exact blueprint for his businesses. It's why he's a billionaire. He set them up, guys. He set them up. Not only did he set them up on election night, but he set them up on January 6th. He's been setting them up. He is literally doing exactly what he always said he was going to do, and that's drain the swamp.